Welcome back to part two. We've got lots to get through, including a great talking point in the Championship. It's a bee in Halsey's bonnet, I know for sure. 3 clubs in the Championship are operating currently without goal line technology. And goal line technology was used proactively in the Championship over the weekend. Great talking point to come. But also from the Premier League, topping and tailing a few games. The Stoke-Arsenal game, in which Stoke won by a 0-0. How can we be talking about an official who gets a call right? Arsenal appear to score, fractionally disallowed for offside. Incredible decision from Simon Beck, and yet we are talking about it. Why are we talking about it? First of all,
if he'd have kept his flag down, I don't think there'd have been any complaints. But the law is the law, and the replays show.
He's right.
The replays show he's correct. Now, whether it's half a boot or a different colour of the boot that he's seen, but in real time, I've got to say, I'm not sure how he's come to that decision.
Would you have rather have seen that be a goal? Because then nobody would have said, hey, he's got it wrong, because it was just so tight.
We're in the entertainment business. I mean, the Premier League is a fantastic advert. Football goes all around the world. As I just said, I don't think there'd have been any complaints had that goal stood.
What do you think about that? Would you rather it had been a goal?
I'd rather we had the video referee and that just sort it out in 30 seconds. Everybody goes, wow, what a great decision. Give him a pat on the back. Yeah. And it's very clear for everybody. Yeah. The things they've brought in recently, in the last few years, the spray for the 10-yard rule has worked brilliantly. Yeah. The goal line technology is working terrifically. Yeah. And it's got to come, the video ref.
It will.
For something where the ball's gone dead like that, it's a goal, or isn't it a goal? It takes 30 seconds to sort out, go up to the people above, put it on the big screen, everybody sees it, no arguments, pat on the back. He's got his chest out the line, he's been going back. Yeah. To me, that's what the answer is.
Extraordinary that we're debating a decision that was just brilliant in a way.
You have to praise Simon Beck for getting it right, but I'd like to know how he come to giving that decision or deciding that was offside, because it'd be interesting.
Incredible. Arsenal denied penalties. What do you think? There's a query.
I think the was it Bellerin the first one? I thought that was a penalty.
Sort of slipped into
it. Yeah, when players go to ground in that manner, make that challenge, you run the risk. And Andre had a great view of it.
Andre Mariner.
Andre Mariner had a great view of it, and Stoke got away with one, didn't they?
Yeah, and then I'm Welbeck is one of my old players, so I'm wanting to get. No wonder
he said it's a penalty.
I really want him to get a penalty. No, but I've been educated in the half-time break, and you can see exactly. I've watched it 2 or 3 times on the thing. There's a pull from one player, the other one clips in on the back of the heel. Jermaine Guinness is saying it's a penalty, and so on. But you're saying exactly right. 2 players squeezed into the box. You've got to be completely sure. It's at full speed. It's all arms and legs. How can a referee be really sure? I'm going. You've educated me on that one on the referees. On the referees.
I'm glad
you sorry for me. That's the first. But I've got to say, I mean, when I watched it in real time, straight away I thought not a penalty. Right. It wasn't a penalty. I didn't want a penalty.
All right, let's come on to the Championship, can we? Because I know that you've got something you want to get off your chest on this one. First of all, Ipswich 2, Brentford 0. Ipswich's killer second goal from Joe Garner was a ruling by goal line technology that the ball was over the line. But we have a scenario where there is no goal line technology at 3 grounds in the Championship, at Barnsley, at Birmingham and Millwall. But it's all to do with the strength or lack of in the floodlights to allow the equipment to operate. Your thoughts on this?
Well, why have we got goal line technology in the Championship if there's 3 clubs that haven't got it?
So you think none of it should be used in the Championship?
All or nothing. So they either all use it or none of them use it. I don't know what Paul's thoughts on that, but I'm amazed that they're using it at some clubs, and obviously these 3 clubs ain't using it. It could have a great big effect at come the end of the season.
I agree totally. I mean, you might stay up because of 3 decisions at your home ground that have gone for you, that really would have been very clear if they'd have had the technology. So it's that part is very difficult, and if it's all for one, or everybody's in, everybody's voted. Yeah. Well, you also have to vote that you've all got to have the right strength of floodlights to cope for it. So really, absolutely, I'm very pleased it's in. Yeah. Because I've seen games already this season decided on it that makes it a lot clearer for everybody, the fans. So much better for the linesman, the referee, who's not got to go all week thinking, well, that was a mistake, but it wasn't really a mistake because it's very hard to see.
It should be sorted quickly, shouldn't it? Otherwise, there's going to be a controversy.
Then get their lights up to standard. They've got the money. Yeah. There's not a question of they can't afford it. All the clubs have got to have it. They've got to have it.
Well, you're agreed on that. Got to say, as a layman just joining the debate, I'm agreed as well. I don't know how you can operate it in some and not others. Sunderland 0, Leeds 2. Andy Davis was in charge of that. No Chris Wood, seemingly on his way to Burnley as we speak. Great result for Leeds, that. Just eye-catcher. 4 wins in a row for our old friend, URF columnist, Neil Warnock. Cardiff City, 2-1 at Wolves.
Doing very well down there, isn't he?
Terrific. Game I saw, Sheffield United 1, Barnsley 0. That was Tim Robinson, who, as Sheffield United manager Chris Wilder acknowledged, had a good game. Yeah. Two players sent off in one incident, going head-to-head in the first half.
And the 2 managers both agreeing with it, which
is
good. Backing the referee
absolutely.
too.
Yeah, that was Angus MacDonald, the Barnsley captain, and Sheffield United striker Leon Clark. Foolishly, going to cost them 3 games.
Yeah, you've missed one result out there, Alan.
QPR
at Hull City.
I never mentioned
1-0 down. Come back and we 2-1. Come on, yours.
We haven't missed it out. You've mentioned it. You've filled in the gaps. Let's fill in the gaps in the Premier League. Finally, a game that Guy Beale watched and blogged on RefCam. This was John Moss in Swansea 0, Manchester United 4. Guy was praiseworthy of John Moss here. I think I'm right in saying it's the best game he'd seen him referee.
Yeah, John's funny. I mean, sometimes he has really good games, and sometimes he's just not at the races. I'd like to see him become more consistent. So he's only as good as your last game. So yes, John Moss did do well, and it's pleasing to see him do well. I know he's come under some criticism from some of our colleagues on URF, but generally I think he is improving, and it's pleasing to see.
Your old club looking ominous.
Well, we said that before. It's 2 games, let's see how they go once the Champions League kicks in. You've got the extra games. You need all the squad. Still think they're short of maybe a defender or so at the back and an extra striker. In years gone by, they had 4 top strikers. Put Solskjaer and Sheringham on for York and Cole, and that was ominous.
It certainly
now,
was.
If Lukaku's out, who's going to go up front? Yeah. So I still think they need 1 or 2 reinforcements as well.
I'll just breeze through these and just raise anything you want to afterwards, Mark. Kevin Friend was in charge of Liverpool 1, Crystal Palace 0. Leicester's 2-0 win over Brighton was presided over by Lee Probert, and Roger East was in charge of Bournemouth 0, Watford 2. Anything to pick up?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. I mean, it's really pleasing to see Lee Probert back in the Premier League. I think he's been missed. I think he's an experienced referee. His calmness, he's laid back. The players know him. The players like him. He doesn't overreact, and he has a smile with the players. It's so important that you laugh. You can laugh with the players. You can joke with the players. But when that time comes where you've got to stamp your authority on the game, you do it, and players respect that. And so it's good to see Lee Probert back. I thought Harry Arter got away with one. On the weekend.
This was the Bournemouth game.
Where I think he must have shouted to the Watford
player. Oh, he did.
He shouted to the player.
Leave it.
Leave it. And obviously if the referee hears that.
But he can't hear everything, can he?
No, he can't hear everything. But you know, and this is where your experience comes in as a referee. You know something's gone on there because there's no way that Watford player was. I can't remember the player.
He leaves it. He cleverly leaves it.
And what the referee can do in that situation is give an indirect free kick against Harry Arter. That's what
he thinks as a guy, but teammate behind him.
He does.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but Alan, it also shows the development system in the country. The academies are all age against age, and so it's when you play against sort of cute older pros or so on that you learn some of these lessons. Yeah. And really, he's about to smack it in the net. I don't know why he didn't. As a young lad, he should just be more positive, smack it in. But then he turns around, it's obvious what's happened, and he just has to put that down to experience. In fact, I heard someone on the radio saying, well, he'd probably use that on himself sometime. But it's hard. What can the referee do about that if he's not heard it? So it is difficult, but like you say, you know something's happened. You can instinctively feel it.
Talking about knowing something's happened, just finally, we've just got time to pick up on the Southampton West Ham game, the Arnautovic elbowing red card, which you guys saw was kind of a reaction to something that happened fractionally earlier.
Well, Paul,
Yeah,
there was.
involving-
I mean, I think Arnautovic was he was a recipient
Possibly
of a little-
elbowed
It's
himself.
little
one of the
late
other, it's
challenge,
one of the
wasn't
other players, I think, and a little bit late challenge on him. But also, he'd had a shot wide past the post, and he's a bit temperamental. I
But
think
should
that's
the
again,
referee have stepped in at the earlier one?
Yeah,
That's
what he should have done was picked up. As I said, as we said earlier, if you don't pick those up, players take their own retribution. And a lot of the time now, it's not about the laws of the game. It's about managing the players, knowing the players, getting in there, having a little chat. Hey, listen, hey, I've seen that. Calm yourself down. Listen, I've seen that. I'll deal with it. No problem. Don't you react. I'll deal with it.
Yeah, exactly,
So it's
yeah.
about getting in there and knowing your players and talking to them and calming them down.
It's about calming down your panellists, getting in there, and tempo management, and bringing the
Yes,
show
very
to a
good.
conclusion
Very good,
when
Alex.
it needs to
Tell you what,
finish.
Yeah.
I think you should be refereeing next weekend.
definitely.
Thank you very much, guys. That's all we've got time for. Full time. See you next week.